pairs. That is the problem we are going to go through today. We are going to learn how to construct a beautiful pair, how to efficiently count and maximize the amount of beautiful pair we can have given two array of integer. So without wasting time, let's go. So in this problem, we need to count the number of beautiful pair. What does that mean? I receive as input an array A and another array B, and I'm supposed to construct pairs of elements in between those array. And a beautiful set is actually a set of pair where each element has been chosen only one. What does that mean? That means, okay, I can take this array for example. If I take 10 here, is there any 10 here that I can pair with this one? No. If I take this 11, is there any 11 that I can pair with this 11? Yes, this one. If I take this 11, is there any other 11 that I can pair with this array? Yes, this one. But I'm not allowed to do this because I have used this already with the first 11. That is why this is not a beautiful pair, because this 11 has been used to construct two pairs. That is something you don't want to. You want to make sure that each element is used only one. Now, given this example, your task is to change exactly one element in B, exactly, this is really important, so that the size of the pairwise disjoint beautiful set is maximized. So what does that mean? That means, okay, let us take this one for instance. Is there any pair we can form with 10? No. Is there any pair we can form with 11? Yes, that is one element. Is there any pair we can form with 12? No. Is there any pair we can form with 5? Yes, this one goes with this one. That is the second pair. Is there any pair we can form with 14? No. Now, you do agree with me that if I change this 14 maybe into 8, I can form a pair, or into 9 I can form a pair, right? So if we receive as input this and this, the result should be 3. Those two first that I mentioned, and then the last one that will occur due to the change of this element. So given that example, I think you kind of understand where we are going and how we are going to construct our maximum array. So to approach this efficiently, how are we going to solve it? Now that we know we have an example, and then we have a I would say an idea of how we construct the set. So how are we going to solve it? Before we solve it, let us take another example. If we take this one as example, the output is 4. Why is the output 4? You see, this is the first pair, second pair, third pair. Now, given that we need to change exactly one element, this one will return, this one can be switched into 4, or this can be switched into 3. We'll make this one a pair, and then that's why you have answer 4. Okay, now that we are fully aware of how we can construct the maximum set, how we're going to solve it. So this is how my approach will look like. So for me to solve it, I will create a map that will store the occurrence of each element of the first array. I have a first array, so I will create a map that will store the occurrence of each of the element of the first array. What does that mean? That means for this array, for instance, it will say 1 occur 1, 2 occur 1, 3 occur 1, and 4 occur 1. If this is maybe my first array, it will say 1 occur 1, 2 occur 1, 3 occur twice. So you just count the number of occurrence of each element. Now that I have the number of occurrence of each element, I need to create a variable to store the result of pair, because I'm going to loop through the second array later on. So I just want to have an array, a variable that will be used to store the number of pairs. Now I need to create a map of number of occurrence, and this has been done already. Now I need to loop through the number. I need to loop through the second array and check if each element can form a pair. What does that mean? That means I have the map of this element. Now I need to loop through the second element. I will say, okay, 1. Can you form a pair with any element into my map? If yes, so it will look like this. If yes, I reduce the number of occurrences in the map and then I increase the count of pair. What does that mean? That means, okay, if I have a map with number of occurrences, maybe 1 occur one time, 2 occur one time, 3 1, and 4 1. Now I will go to 1. Do I have a 1 into my map? Yes, I have. If I have a 1 into my map, I reduce the number of occurrence of 1 because I'm going to use that one to make a pair, and I increment the number of pair count. That means I just did a pair, and I will do so until I reach the end of the map. Now just return the count of pair based on its value. You are going to understand why I'm saying based on its value. So I just start by creating my map. Like I said, I create my result, which I initiate at 0, normal. Now I loop through the first array to construct the number of occurrence. Now after that, I'm looping through the second array, like I was saying, and I check if if my map contain in fact, if the value of the number of occurrence of this element is actually different from 0. This is actually an evaluation. So if this value is 0, then I'm not going to throw in this loop. So it will return 0 if it doesn't exist, or if the number of occurrence is really 0. Now, like I said, you increment the result and then you decrement the number of occurrence. Why are you decrementing the number of occurrence? Because you don't want to find yourself associating one element multiple times to another element. That's why whenever you take an element, you reduce the number of occurrence, meaning that that element has been used and then you don't want to take it anymore. So once you are done, now you return the count of pair based on its value. That is why I was saying based on its value, because I'm using a ternary operator here, saying that, okay, if the result is equal to the size of B, that means all of the elements are actually forming pairs. Let's say, for instance, here, if we were having 4 here, that means all of the elements are actually forming pairs. And if all of the elements are forming pairs, by operating one, by changing exactly one element in B, eventually you are going to reduce the number of pair, because if you have 4 here, that means you already have 4 pairs, and then you need to change exactly one element. By changing any of this element, you are going to disrupt the pair construct by that element, which will result into reducing the total number of pairs. That's why I'm saying if the result is actually equal to the size of the map, then definitely we are going to break one pair. That's why I'm returning result -1. Otherwise, I'm returning result +1, because if it's not equal to the size of the map, that means eventually there is one element in the map that doesn't has a pair into A, and by changing any of those elements to its corresponding value in the other array, you are going to have a pair. So this was my approach of solving this. Let us run and see what it gives. We have everything green, perfect. So this is my approach of solving this. I hope you do enjoy it. Feel free to leave me a message in the comment section. I'll be really happy to interact with you regarding this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. See you on the next video. Ciao.